Couple of orders of business while we sort out the microphone levels. One, if you've not given me a pound, give me a pound. And number two, you will see on the tables there are little pieces of paper with a little writing exercise on. If you would like to complete one of these, that would be great, and there are prizes. There's prizes for the best and for the silliest, so everyone wins. Well, not everyone, but two people. And we will, and also we've got plenty of space on the open mic after the guests, so if you want to go on the open mic and you felt like you changed your mind, come and tell me, I'll put your name down. But we will start with our first open micer, Jackie Hagan. So if I would like to welcome Jackie Hagan to the stage.
Hello, I feel a bit insane with hangover, you know, when anything could come out of your mouth and I could suddenly start speaking French or something like that, even though I don't know French. Je redéfie le piano petit peu. So that could happen. Right, yes, but I won't. I'll do a poem instead. That's much more what I'm meant to be doing. Right. Hello, by the way. Right, yes, here's a poem. It's relatively new, but you might have heard it before. You know, there's quite a lot of poems knocking about, or there has been over the years, where people give life advice. Like Tony Walsh has got one, Lisa B did a lot of them. And, oh, really, don't take photos of me today. I feel like my face is inside out. And that is not a good angle. Does my hair look good though? That's all that matters. So there's like poems knocking about that are like life advice, and they're all, you know, they're very sort of like wise and well meant and stuff, and very good. But I don't tend to be able to sort of get on them, you know, because I'm not someone who's good at life or A4 or anything. I'm like a bit and so I wrote my own in response that's sort of life advice for people who are a bit, you know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, it's called You Can't See Through Another Man's Eyelids. I know my own height, and I know my own knees and the dirty, and I know my own mind, and it's broken, and the gaps letting light like a disco ball. I have antlers and look like a tree, and branches for arms for people like me. Sometimes we speak of the things that we see, using puppetry, tea leaves and lies. 1. Never join a conga line. 2. The worm will not thank you for mistaking its arse for its face. 3. A boiled sweet pause in someone else's mouth doesn't mean it's time for you to speak. 4. 5. You're probably not as ugly as you think you are. You are a generous buffet of crisps. 5. Important. Don't be mean to fingernail frogs. The wet effort they put into punchlines. Frogs can fly when you don't make them feel self-conscious about it. 6. Don't cut off your own face despite someone else's face. 7. Don't cut off your face. Depressingly, that is good advice for a lot of people, I know. Relevant. 8. You've mayonnaise on your bra because you're human. 9. Remember how people take their tea. 10. The minimum fill line on a kettle is real. Kettles break. So do hearts. So don't eat too much butter or fall in love with a koala. They're not what you think. When a koala breaks your heart, try to know someone from Yorkshire who'll feed you tea and elasticate your socks. 11. Wipe your feet on the mat and take your coat off because you're probably not going to kill yourself. 12. Romanticise the repetitive clunk. 13. Give your pets a heroic aura. 14. Some people get done for saying the word azure. Some people get done for swearing. I come from a town where the barmaids have tits and the fellas are homophobic, but in a nice way. You're weird and you're short and your man tells me you're gay, but I knew your dad, he was witty and so are you. You're alright, you love, you are. Weird hair. 15. Everyone's school burns down. 16. Check yourself. You might have no business sleeping with virgins. 18. 17 is genuinely missing. That was nice. I quite like that. 18. For a while I had an apple tree, tall and crisp and meant for people with healthy gums and legs for climbing, good for you. For a while I had an apple tree, but it didn't suit me. It's a mess in here. That pile of books and yet to read. Have you heard of Tracy Emin? She got her inspiration from me. 19. If I'd stay in that moment where the tennis ball reaches its height and takes a breath before remembering to fall, inside that beat sunset feels like acceptance. 20. Unsolicited advice can make you sound like a dick. Yeah.
Jerry, are you ready to do a poem? Well, everyone welcome Jerry Potter to the stage, please.
Meeting Jackie in the middle, that was really funny. That's what we always meet, isn't it? Love in the middle. Okay, what am I doing? I don't know. I'm all a bit surprised and skew-whipped on myself. Okay, this poem is about a man off his head at a festival. Looking at a man off his head at a festival, and is kind of a bit paranoid, but not evil paranoid that the man wants to eat him, but like joyously paranoid at looking at this bloke. And I kind of like men off their head. I like men on E more than I like men on beer. They're so much nicer and so much more flighty and flowery than they ever are when they're violent. So this is that, and it's called There, That Bloke Under the Tree. There, that bloke under the tree, the one writing his thoughts. You can tell he's writing his thoughts, he has no pen. The one who knows all men feel guilty about being men. Dapple patterned and apple blossomed, the man with the half smile and short as sixpence grin. The one who's played checkers with queens and lived to tell the tales. He's got the wind on his side and feeling cheeky. You know the one, rubs his hands on trees and reads the books they'll become. A bit dog-eared, cheats and peeks at the end so he knows who done it. Seen what the butler seen before the butler even saw it. Everybody's make-believe dad, all Sid James and Doctor Who. Works that imaginary dad vibe like a gigolo. Fisherman cool, hot pants and waders, shouts and whispers. Hipsters. Does a belting Tommy Cooper. Kicks 5 footballs, keeps them and 11 best friends in the air, on his head, off his head, goal. His feet tapping time to the earth, so fast he looks footless, fancy free, and with the wind in what's left of his hair, hums that one about mice and the inquisitive tin whistle, animated like childhood telly, singing, ringing. There he is, there, the one who makes circles with corners and rooms without walls, stretches time like elastic, sketches space, doors wide open, overflowing whiskey and tea, and a running buffet that's finished a marathon. Has a joke for every tear, one photo of every season of every year. Sharp-witted Raggedy Dan, hat has tendrils, soft-focused feel-good fool, and although he's engraved his own headstone and will be at his own funeral, he'll never die. Got clouds sewn up in rainbow thread, ribbons like a robin in and out of thunderstorms. Rain dotted dots the world, doesn't bother joining them. Won't see the point in lines. They picket fence the truth. And don't get them going on lies. He'll only tell you lies are more human, far more human than truth ever could be. Be careful listening. He'll insist truth can never really be written down. You know the one. Knows only babies laugh honestly and women no more than they're letting on. That the way we live now was the blueprint for the Titanic. Don't panic! Don't panic! Generous as a nervous breakdown. Gets away with the murder he wants to commit. The deaths he deftly imagines. You know who I mean. He's so done it all. Kids the zeitgeist, it's on to a winner. Marvels at the way tattoos look similar and illustrate the same story. Willow pattern skin. He thinks clothes are words on bodies misspelt. And he's got this feeling. I saw him once before under that tree, writing a letter to America, and his arm went mental. A bit John Pertwee and Exploding Watch, a bit frilly shirt and Apocalypse, a bit Mr. God from Dulwich. As he signed his name, Bob, with cryptic agility and an undeniably avant-garde flourish. Thank you.
Ben Williams, are you ready? Welcome Ben to the stage, everybody. Give me a shout. Yeah, there we go, that's good.
Hello. Yeah, I wrote this one at a workshop. The idea was to ask the Wizard of Oz what you most wanted. So this is called Positions at Oz. Hello, was Oz. I am inquiring if you have any jobs. For instance, in the area of admin. I have a number of years' experience, including working alongside Munchkins. I can communicate effectively with the public, face to face, on the telephone, and using reality voiceover. I am also proficient in a wide range of occult practices. I hold a full UK driving licence. This is primarily a tarmac-based accreditation, but I believe the skills are applicable to yellow brick roads. I am willing to relocate, weather permitting. Regards, A. Dorothy. Thank you.
Zach Roddis, are you ready? Everyone welcome Zach to the stage, please.
Hello. My name is Zach, and I run a night it's on Thursday at the Castle at 9 PM if you're around, and it's free, so that's good. I've got a bit of a confession to make. It starts with a story though. I'm not going to take too long, don't worry. How long are we here for? Yes. Does anyone remember the 1990s sort of shit TV programme that was called The Masked Magician?
No.
Well, basically there's a masked magician, when at the end of the show, in the last episode, he revealed who he was, and everyone thought, oh, this is going to be like a celebrity that we know who it's going to be. And then it was just some bloke. So this is the poetry equivalent of that. A few weeks ago, I started an online blog called Poetry Advent Calendar. And yes, and it's been quite successful so far. And I'm not going to read my work, I'm going to read someone else's work. And this is the first post from that. It's called poetryadventcalendar.blogspot.com. And this is the first poem from December the 1st, by Holly McNeish. It's called Snow Baby. The snow will be gone when you come, baby. The ice will have melted away. A springtime bloom will be waiting for you as soon as you come out to play. When you open your eyes, there will be flowers, branches bloomed out into yews. The bees will be back, the petals attack, and the honeys will melt around you. The white will be spilt when you come, baby. The colours splintered through the rain. The blanket of snow with one pallet show will melt in a rainbow of pain. The cold will be gone when you come, baby. Just a warm little cooling down breeze. The leaves on the trees will be minty and green, and the rivers will run back into seas. The thaw will be here when you come, baby. The animals peeping through dirt. Daffodils trumpeting gateways to parks as you open your ears to the earth. The land will be soft when you sit down, the grass grown through daisy-chained seats. The sun will be bright, the heat will be light as you lay in the shade of the trees. The snow will be gone when you come, baby. Right now it's a blanket of pearls. So just rest for a bit, put your feet up and sit till the buds break the frost and unfurl. The freeze will be gone when you come, baby. The glittering frost bites back. So go strong with the spring, so when the snow starts to sing, you can run out and marvel at that. Cheers.
In the spirit of Sturg, I'll start with one by a woman poet. Unfortunately, she's Polish, and tonight I can barely manage English words. Her name is Wisława Szymborska. She started out as a Stalinist in Poland, and then saw the error of her ways, became quite a brave dissident poet, and then eventually sort of went on questioning things. And by the time she wrote this one, she's questioning the values of life and happiness, which bunch became my kind of gal. This is called Experiment. As a short before the main feature, where the actors did all they could to move me and even make me laugh, an interesting experiment was shown involving the head. The head, a moment before, had still belonged to a dog, and now it was cut off. Everyone could see it had no body. Protruding from the neck were glass tubes that enabled the blood to keep circulating. The head was doing well. With no sign of pain or even surprise, its eyes followed the movement of a flashlight. It pricked up its ears at the sound of a bell. Its wet nose could tell the smell of fatback from odourless non-existence, and licking its chops with obvious relish, it salivated to the greater glory of physiology. A dog's faithful head, a dog's worthy head. When stroked, it half shut its eyes, firmly convinced it was still part of a whole that arched its back when patted, and wagged its tail. I thought of happiness and suddenly was afraid, for that's all that life is about. The head was happy. And then in a pills before swine kind of way, this one's one of mine. Back when I was unemployed, I decided to fill my time by doing a psychogeography. And I walked down one street, gave up, and just wrote a poem out of the one street instead. It's called Faith. Lost, walking the arterial road, I found an Art Deco arch swallowed by thorn bushes and sycamores, the concrete split by rain and lichen and petrol fumes. The logo of General Electric heralding a futurist age of abundance and peace. That's what they expected in the 20s. Abundance and peace. Now let's say a prayer to progress. On the arterial road lost, I crossed industrial estates and tram lines, got caught on CCTV from multiple angles, saw a blind man at a bus stop with no bus coming, and 100 trendy and empty new build office blocks, automatic doors revolving for no one. How's that for abundance and peace? It's a faith that gets waved at as still like the lies they disguised as prayers in school, and still we walk the empty spaces we may, looking for signs of redemption. Now let's say a prayer to progress, to abundance and peace. Lost and walking on the arterial road, a pilgrim trail to the job centre, past an angry man on his mobile outside a pub, the smokers hanging around the door of Ladbrokes, the man in his slippers looking for a lost cat, looking down at bits of broken windshield, the ring pulls and fag ends and dog turds, the trainer with a hole in the shoe, the sunglasses with one lens missing, and 30 feet of magnetic tape unspooled, the innards of a broken fridge. Well, let's take all this litter to that triumphant arch. Let's make a roadside shrine of it and say a prayer to the abundance that was never gonna add up, to the peace that we never really wanted, and to the future that didn't last. Thanks.
If he is ready, so it's his first time reading at Stern, so if you welcome him to the stage, that would be great.
Thank you. This is called Never Struggled. The general public loves. I stop them and ask, would you like to hear this, general public? And I never am surprised at how they always have a minute or two. We never knew you were you. We would have joined a queue. So many thanks and do, they say, before some bum takes a pop. Did you know how full of love we are? And by that time, I'm turning round to stop the general public a little more. So would you like to hear this, general public? Because so much love there is. I'm going to keep it brief. I fell too many times to count before I learned to ride a bike. Spent years concocting simple rhymes, but nothing perfect, nothing like. This is, well, I'll walk straight to it. Ow, my aching head and heaving stomach. Last night's scotch. The bird song isn't sweet just now. They're saying it's cold and dark out there. Well, I haven't stretched since summertime. There's a party I could be at. Damn my ringing phone. When did I fall to sleep? Somebody's going to wait for me. This season, goodwill and that, funerals and that. I'm resting up for summertime between late nights and these damn winter blues. It's really nice when everyone applauds between short poems. I know that you don't always have to. No one should feel bad when you don't get applause between short poems. Sorry.
That's right.
One more, it's less short.
That's right, one more short one, that's good.
I didn't write this one today, but I first read it when I had. I wore these black trousers all day with a honey stain on the left thigh that could be anything, because they were relatively clean. I wore this starched white shirt, 2 collar sizes too large, and these brown corduroy shoes with their scuffed white rubber soles. At work, my colleague said I was looking very corporate, which I took to be well-meaning. And on my way here, some happy guy asked who I'm taking out. Come on, he said. You can't dress up like that and not pull tonight. And I still might. This is just a honey stain. Thank you.
Okay, right, so we will now have a break of about 10-15 minutes before we have our first guest, the wonderful Michelle Green, at about, sometime before 9 o'clock. If you haven't given me a pound, come and give me a pound. On the table there are writing exercises for prizes. And if you haven't got one of those, then writing exercises, write 4 lines on what you would like in an advent calendar. And give them to me if you've written one already. So there we go. Enjoy the break.